Okay, so I wanted to make this video for the people that are in their 20s that have no idea what they're doing. So, if you're anything like me, you probably have no idea what you're doing. You definitely feel further behind than others, and you definitely want more than what's normal. Now, if there's anyone you can take advice from on this, it is from me because I have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm going to show you the process I'm using to figure it out. Okay, this is coming from someone who's 26. I failed about 7 business models. I just got out of addiction treatment 3 years ago, and I have no idea what I'm doing. So, this is what I'm doing to figure it out. First, step one is to get this book, Reality Transurfing. Basically, what it says pertaining to this is that you can make a living out of whatever you want and how you can find something that is true to you. Now, the book is like $60. You can get it on Amazon. Yeah, it's really expensive, $60. But they say you don't find this book, it finds you. So, now that you have heard about the book, you need to go order it. I think you can probably find a free PDF online, but it's a bitch to read because of all the ads and everything that pops up, and you can't really download it. So, yeah, I would recommend buying the book though, just because I just like having physical copies anyways. Like if you're someone that really wants to do something as like true to you, and you don't want to do something that doesn't like align with your values, this is good. This will kind of show you how you can do what is true to you. Now, the other thing I'm doing is a simple framework that anyone can follow. I call it giving it to God. Now, this will work for you even if you're not spiritual or religious. It's a simple framework. That's just what it's called. That's what I've called it. It makes sense. But it doesn't matter if you're spiritual or not. It's a simple framework that you can follow. And I'm going to show you how to do it. Basically, the gist of it is that if you set your goal on something, consciously or unconsciously, you will guide yourself to that goal. But if you keep getting in the way of what your subconscious mind or God or whatever you want to call it is trying to do, then you're just going to fuck it up. So, because inherently we can all just set a goal and our subconscious mind will take us there. That's not up for debate. It's proven that it just works that way. You can think of it like a guided missile. Like a guided missile might like make some errors here and there, but eventually like it knows where it's going. And as long as you don't fuck with it, it'll get there. It'll go around whatever it needs to. But if you're too busy fucking with the system and trying to reroute it because you think something's wrong, you're gonna fuck it up. The reason I'm trying this is because for 3 years, now don't get me wrong, I was super against this for a very long time, but for 3 years I tried doing it by force, I guess you could say, and that has failed miserably. And I eventually realized that sometimes I do not make the best decisions, and that if I would just slow down and let God or my subconscious mind make those decisions, then it would probably go a little bit better. This does not mean we're simply just going with the flow and just going with the wind and doing whatever, going wherever the wind takes us. We're actually going to be, this is a very actionable process. It's not passive at all. It's a lot of action. So there's a few things to practice when you're doing this. Now, keep in mind, I had a lot of resentment towards this for a long time because I was afraid that God would not want what I wanted. So I refused it for a long time. But the truth is, if what you're doing is built on truth and justice, then there's no reason it shouldn't work. That's common sense. There are 4 principles that you have to follow. The first one is acceptance. Now, I know this sounds abstract, but I'm about to break it down and show you how you can turn it into tangible things that you will perform daily. So, acceptance means 2 things. The first is that you accept what is happening, like in the current moment, like maybe it's raining outside or someone hit your car, like you just accept it. That doesn't mean you don't fix it, but you accept it. The truth is you can't control everything that happens, so on the way to your goal while you're trying to figure life out, you'll just have to accept a lot of the BS that shows up. That's the first part of acceptance. The second part, you have to accept that what you're doing may never work. Now, we hear all the time that's like successful people say that failure was never an opportunity, like it was the only option. Like, sure, that's great and all, but let me explain. If you're anything like me, then this is going to help you, but let me explain why accepting failure will actually help you. If you have a life goal and you write down and you fail and you write down the worst possible scenario, you'll realize that like it's not that bad. And actually, you're probably already living it right now. So if the worst that ever happened was what you were doing right now, would you die? No. I mean, would it suck? Yeah. But I'll give you a metaphor. If I have to take a final in a class that I'm taking, but if everything depends upon that final, like if I fail the final, I'll fail the class. But on the alternative is that if I have a really good grade, I can fail the final and probably still be fine. Now, if I can fail the final and still pass the class, I will probably be able to think a lot, I'll be able to think with a lot more clarity, and I won't be worrying as much about things that just simply don't matter and coming up with things that aren't true. So, this is starting to make sense now because it just accepting this failure just kind of takes away all the extra feelings that come along with not wanting to fail. Now, there's no reason to think about this all the time. Just picture it once and move on. Okay? Now, that is acceptance. Now, the next principle is called faith. And you don't have to be spiritual to practice faith. And I'm going to show you how. Now, faith is a little contradictory to accepting failure, but whatever. I don't know. Just follow the framework. It works. Now, when you break down faith, what is faith? Well, faith fundamentally is literally just the repetition of positive outcomes. That's it. So, how can you apply that to your life? Well, the repetition of a positive outcome would be like, this is going to work out, or I'm going to pass my final, or the things I have planned will work out. And you just repeat that. Obviously, you'll make it a little better than that, and it'll probably have some meaning to it. But basically, the phrases that you like, that you want to repeat, and you repeat them over and over until you actually believe them. That is literally what faith is. But so far, we're accepting what is happening and also having faith that it's going to work, regardless of what's happening. That's what acceptance is. Now, the third principle is simply take suggestions. That's it. Now, the truth is that we do not know everything, and if you did, you would already be where you want to be. And you're not. So, take suggestions from people that have been there before. But here's the thing, do not just take suggestions from anyone, only from people who have been where you want to go. Now, the last principle is common sense. This literally means just use common sense on the way to your goal. Apply the common sense with the other principles, and you are now, in essence, giving it to God. Now, see, that's not near as scary as it sounded at first. Next, I would say just don't try to force it. Like, for me personally, I tried forcing it for a very long time and it didn't work. So now I've learned to step back a little bit and kind of let things play out a little bit more, I guess. Will it work? I don't know. I have no idea. I've seen it work for other people. There's proof that it works, but will it work for me? I don't know. But the alternative that I've tried is definitely not working. So, and this method of giving it to God works if you know what you're doing and if you don't know what you're doing. Like, for instance, you could accept that you don't know what you're doing, and you could have faith that you're going to find out what you want to do. And then you take suggestions from people that have found out what they want to do. And then use common sense. On top of that, I would just say, just find like something that you liked as a kid. Like, chances are you'll still like it. Most of the time, that is because it's pretty true to you and how you were at the time. And now you've been kind of molded to think differently. And so you really might not even know what you like. My personal advice is just to kind of take a step back, think about what you liked, and just try something. Even if you think it's not the right path, just try it. Anyways, just because it's better to be doing something and learning than just doing nothing. At least that's my philosophy on it. So, yeah, basically, go by reality transurfing, practice the giving it to God framework, keep learning, and be open to change. And that's pretty much it. Subscribe.